So what kind of hazards give you the most trouble? Actually, I was referring to road hazards. That's why Oldsmobile Bravada gives you Smart Track. A system of full-time all-wheel drive and four-wheel anti-lock brakes to adapt as conditions change. So test drive one today. It's your choice.
At the Laporte Vineyards, owners Victor and Beth Laporte knew varietal grapes, but profit-sharing and pension plans they knew little about. So they turned to someone who gave their financial needs the same care they accorded their wine, Dean Wither.
Where we invest is in the individual. What we invest is our time, our expertise, and our care.
So the Laportes can now not only enjoy success, they can taste it. Dean Wither.
We measure success one investor at a time.
More of the game's great shots are made by Titleist players. That's because most of the world's best shot makers all play Titleist. More players, more wins, more money. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf.
I'm Johnny Miller, and I've got to tell you, the Big Bertha 7-wood is the most versatile club I've ever played with, especially when you need to hit it high and stop it quick. With the Big Bertha 7-wood, you can leave your long irons home.
Big Bertha at fine golf shops everywhere.
The Soft Tech glove. Etonic technology adds consistent fit and feel. When Phil Mickelson comes out swinging, he wears Etonic.
Hi, everybody. Hannah Storm back at our Prudential Update studio in New York with a reminder for you that coming up after golf, we've got an NBA doubleheader, 2 games of major importance as far as the playoffs are concerned. At 3 o'clock Eastern, it's the Spurs and Trailblazers in Portland. Clyde Drexler will be in the starting lineup for Portland. He was activated off the injured list earlier today after missing 7 games with a pulled left hamstring. That is followed by the Bulls and Cavaliers from Richfield Coliseum as Chicago looks to keep pace with the New York Knicks in the battle for top spot in the Eastern Conference. In just a moment, we'll update you on the NBA scoreboard and bring you an interesting update on Joe Montana. That's right after this message from Prudential.
Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Okay, let's quickly get you updated on games in the NBA this afternoon. It was Orlando and Boston with the Magic with a victory, pulling within 1.5 games of the final playoff spot in the East. A couple of lottery-bound teams playing at the Spectrum where Hersey Hawkins had 32 points for the 76ers. Now, we've been updating you on the Joe Montana situation throughout the weekend, and our colleague Will McDonough reports that there's been a dramatic twist today. After meeting this weekend with 49ers owner Eddie DeBartolo, Montana, who appeared headed for Kansas City yesterday, he and the 49ers may now have a change of heart. Both Montana and DeBartolo are on a plane right now, headed back to San Francisco. They have a 7 p.m. meeting Eastern Time with head coach George Seifert and team president Carmen Policy. Yesterday, Montana talked by phone with Seifert, and the coach said that the 49ers are willing to designate Montana as the team's starting quarterback. So Montana is having second thoughts about Kansas City, and he might stay in San Francisco. All of this brings us to wonder what the 49ers' relationship is with Steve Young. Young, of course, was the league's MVP this past season, and he's been named the team's franchise player under the NFL's new free agency guidelines. So should Montana decide that he wants to leave, a trade with Kansas City still needs to be worked out. Right now, we'll send you back to Palm Beach Gardens and the PGA Seniors Championship.
Thank you very much, Hannah Storm. Tom Wargo finishes off the final details of his scorecard and gets ready for the sudden death playoff. For the moment, we'll take you to basketball.
In celebration of a new style of service at home and abroad, we now embrace the colors of the world as the new colors of United Airlines. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Sunday, it was supposed to be an afternoon of pleasure, but it turned into terror at sea.
So we had no idea where we were.
And when tragedy strikes, ordinary people become heroes.
We had to abandon ship. It was up to us to either do or die.
Witness a daring rescue from a sinking ship. Real people, real heroes on an all-new Eyewitness Video, NBC Sunday.
You're home when you get the idea to put in a new light. So you go to Home Base, where they've got over 30,000 items, including more light fixtures than you can count on your fingers.
For all your lighting needs, come to Home Base. We have the guaranteed lowest prices on Catalina lighting. This chandelier with beveled glass panels will help make any dining room look elegant. The beautiful polished brass finish not only looks great, but it's also made to last. And it's real easy to install. Home Base. It's that simple.
What is non-culpabilis?
A fancy way of saying not guilty.
What is a trial de novo?
Oh, that's a new trial.
Do you know how to talk on the phone with 2 clients at once?
No.
Well, you can't be an expert at everything. So to help with your phones, US West created the Small Business Group. We'll answer your questions and help you run your business the way you want to. After all, you know law, and we know phones. The Small Business Group at US West.
Shopping spendthrifts share money-saving secrets, Monday at 6:30.
Tuned in for the beginning of the Blazers and Spurs. No, the PGA Seniors Championship gave all sports fans a terrific story today. For a report on that, we go to Jim Lampley and Johnny Miller.
Thanks, Hannah. We're back in Palm Beach Gardens, where if your taste runs to the unexpected, we have the sports story of the week. Unknown club pro Tom Wargo holding off some of the biggest names in golf to win the PGA Seniors Championship. Johnny Miller, you said before the round you thought he would hold up, but he tested your faith a couple of times.
You know, he has that look. I talked about it. It only comes around maybe once every 10 years. Ben Hogan had it. Jack Nicklaus had it. Arnold Palmer had it. Maybe Mike Singletary, Jerry West. You can name some great, great athletes. He has that look. His skills are crude. They're sort of homemade, but this guy is here to stay. He's the #1 putter on the Seniors Tour, and he's going to be so good for Senior Tour golf.
He needed every ounce of guts he could muster today to hold off Bruce Crampton, who fired a final round 66, ultimately to force a sudden death playoff. But Wargo, after this brilliant tee shot on the difficult par 3 15th, setting up a birdie, had a 3-shot lead. But then he bogeyed 16. Crampton made birdie at 17. And when Crampton made this, the last of his 6 birdies in the 4th round on 18, it forced the sudden death playoff. And certainly it appeared that Crampton, with his edge and experience, would have the advantage. Wargo dumped his long iron approach at 16, the first hole of the playoff, into the bunker, an almost impossible place from which to get up and down. And once Crampton was in par, Wargo needed this testing 4.5-footer to save par and extend the playoff. It was the last of many times during the day when his nerves were tested and he met the test. Crampton hit his tee shot at the par 3 17th into the water, making double bogey, setting up Wargo with this par putt to win the golf tournament. 25 years ago, at age 25, he took up the sport after work as an iron worker and in an automobile factory. Now, against all odds, Tom Wargo of Centralia, Illinois, is the PGA Seniors champ. Back to Hannah Storm in our NBA studio.
What a great story.